everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Nostalgia. I believe this is episode 47. Probably,
spot on,
maybe?
spot on.
I hope
spot
so.
on.
Get it.
Yeah,
See,
good,
I know them all. I'm your host, Britton, if this is your first episode, and I'm joined, as always, by George Sheard. I couldn't come up with an intelligent joke this time. I didn't prepare.
I know. It's
I'm
okay.
disappointment.
It's okay.
I apologise.
I can't think of anything on the spot either, so you're all good. You're all good. What are we doing
Yeah.
today, Cooper?
We are going to talk about Star Wars. I feel it's been a little while since we did a Star Wars episode. I did Ahsoka. What was that, 40? Ahsoka,
We did talk about Ahsoka. Episode 40, yeah. So we're
episode 40, there you go. So it's been a little while.
A little while, yeah.
I feel like we had a big gap though where we didn't do many Star Wars episodes.
Yeah,
Obviously we've done Ahsoka, and then we're going to be talking about Star Wars' newest show,
Yes.
Skeleton Crew,
Which is only just finished.
which is I've literally finished it
Like
an hour and a half ago.
today.
like today. Like literally, I've waited till the end and just watched it all in one go.
I respect that.
But this is not an interesting episode, but this is different because we literally have not had any bit of communication about what we think about this show. I've not seen, you've not put anything on Twitter, nothing on any social medias.
No.
We are completely this is completely off cuff, like we have no idea. And I as well, because I didn't watch it when it was coming out, I feel like I haven't seen the general reaction of the show. Like with Acolyte, I was watching Acolyte weekly, and I saw the backlash. I saw the backlash.
Pointless fucking backlash, but yeah.
So I don't know what the general consensus is. I know I've seen the rating on Disney Plus and stuff.
I can kind of tell you what the general consensus is. I feel like my thoughts on it are the general consensus, so we'll get onto that. But yeah, I'm a noob. Noob? Was that it?
A noob?
No. I'm a normie, that's what I was thinking of. There's a sort of internet word in there somewhere. I sound like an old man. I'm only fucking 23. Anyway, yeah.
Do you want to go, or do you want me to go, or do you want to go?
No, well, I'm interested. What did you think of it?
I thought it was good. I actually, thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, the concept, I wasn't hesitant, but I knew it was like a Goonies, like Stand By Me kind of thing, which interests me. Wasn't set when I thought it was set post Order 66 before New Hope. Completely wrong about that, which I quite enjoyed.
You thought it was in that era? Yeah,
I thought it was in that era, but we are jumping well for the road.
The weird thing is, I don't even think it matters, which I quite like. Like, it could be set there.
It doesn't. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
The main,
but it was quite nice. I was like, ooh, like, but I enjoyed it. Like it's one of the I think it's one of the strongest first episodes of a Star Wars show, because I genuinely was at the end of the first episode. I was like, this is a very cool idea. And then the second episode comes, and they start talking about At Attin and this like planet that doesn't exist, and there's like a folk tale. I was like, okay. I was like, you have my attention here. I was like, this is proper like childhood Goonies adventure stories. I loved the kid being like having action figures of Jedi. Like it probably reminds you of being a kid. Like,
I think that's also what works. Yeah.
I want to put this out here now. I will not have. I don't know. You probably love this character as well. I will have no fucking Neil slander on my podcast. Okay, I will protect Neil with my life.
Neil is a sweetheart. Neil is
my
an absolute sweetheart.
Boy.
my Sheila.
I love Neil so unbelievably much.
Yeah. Neil's the best, man. What
I thought all the kids were, to be honest. I thought they were all great characters.
Well, there's so much to unpack already.
Yeah.
I'm very much of the same opinion. I have a lot of love for this show. It's not one that I'll immediately revisit, but it's one that I'll be thinking about for quite a while. A lot of the show I kind of had on whilst I was doing other things, so I kind of was not like half watching it, but I did I was able to follow it. But I was thoroughly entertained. I thought there's a lot to it, and I think there's something to be said about this kind of thing, where especially with the characters of children. I had no expectations going in. I don't think anyone had any expectations going in. I don't think really people were that bothered about Skeleton Crew when it's been announced, all the stages of development. I'll tell you why no one was really bothered about it, because they didn't really play into the whole like importance and cameo stuff. But actually, I went an
entire Star Wars season without a cameo.
Honestly, we did. I was honestly so happy with that as well. Like,
I was expecting one at the end, I'm not gonna lie, when the New Republic came in.
I was half expecting them to cut to Mon Mothma.
Yeah,
I thought Mon Mothma would have been a good one, but I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they held some restraint, and I think it shows a lot towards like the creators of the show doing something genuinely different and interesting with it. John Watts John Watts has done well. I think with this, I compare it to Andor in a way where, like, Andor is... I think with Star Wars, they're starting to do the right thing now, right? Andor and Skeleton Crew are similar in quite a few respects, but the main one I would say is that they've taken a long time to develop it, and they've taken their time, and they've developed it. I mean, Skeleton Crew has been talked about for years. I'm sure we saw like a photo or a teaser 2 years ago.
I think when I'm pretty sure when we went to Star Wars Celebration, they had like they showed teaser
photos. They had a trailer, I think.
Something like
They had a trailer 2 years ago when we went to Star Wars Celebration, but even before that, there'd been photos. So they've been filming it like ages ago. We're talking like 2021, 2020, like probably just after COVID it was made, which is crazy because it's so like separate to that. But I think when you take your time on something like this, it comes out a lot better. Like this was really, really good, and I think Andor follows that same sort of feeling where it's not ram-packed with cameos and important characters, and that's my one sort of feeling of resentment towards like the Mandalorian. I think especially Ahsoka, okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay. Like they're taking legacy characters that you know and love and making a series around them, which is an excuse to get these characters that you like running around and doing stuff, and that's kind of what they capitalize on, right? But I think with these sort of ones and how the Mandalorian started, it's like basically like in the same universe but completely separate and kind of like doing its own thing with less emphasis on the cameos and references, and the Mandalorian has let that go in completely. But whereas like I think Andor still holds onto it, and I think Skeleton Crew holds onto it. Skeleton Crew more so, I'd even say, because it's so, and I think that's what works about the separate planet thing. It's so separate from everything else.
I think Skeleton Crew does well because it still feels involved with the Star Wars universe, but and I don't want to say I don't want to say low stakes, because obviously the show has its own stakes, but it feels low stakes in the sense that it's quite refreshing to have something that's not like going to
you couldn't have a show
knock-on effect for the next like, 4 with kids. Shows, the next 3 movies.
You couldn't have a show with kids doing that.
I don't want it. I'm not saying I want it to have that, but it was quite refreshing to have a show that I'm like, well, I have to watch this because it's going to link into the next show.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so tiring, isn't it? When you're talking about like modern TV and how we consume it. Like I felt like with Ahsoka, you have to watch it, even if you don't want it. Now, I did want to watch that, but you have to if you want to understand what's coming next. Like, God forbid the people who sit down to see the Mandalorian and Grogu film are going to really struggle, because if they haven't watched, like, Ahsoka, if they haven't watched all Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett...
Fucking hell.
Like, they're going to have to watch basically 5 seasons of content to basically follow what's going on in that film. Not to mention that that's not going to be the big payoff everyone's expecting it is. Yeah. I like the fact that Skeleton Crew is set in the same time. I could see Jude Law's character appearing again.
Good. I think really good character.
I think he was one of the highlights of the show. Jude Law's an amazing actor, but I was so blown away and impressed by what he did with this. Yeah, it's a bit cartoony in a way because it's sort of made for kids, but I
think it's
so he's still dark, and I still felt like a threat from him.
The back few episodes, the last 2 episodes, he was really dark. It takes like a twist, which I quite like.
I quite like that they didn't redeem him. I was a bit worried that they were going to try and redeem his character and make him like a good guy in the end, and that he does the right thing in the end. I'm glad they didn't, because like this whole thing of him pretending to be a Jedi like is so clearly like an act and a trick, and I quite like the way they handled that. Like I'm just glad they didn't redeem him at the end. I was worried they were going to sort of go, oh, he's actually a good guy or whatever. Does the
show not give you a bit of Westworld vibes as well? I got Westworld vibes. Nearing the end, I got Westworld vibes.
I mean, look, of all people, you're talking to the right guy about detecting Westworld vibes, but no, I can't say I did.
I got Westworld vibes near the end where it was like hidden civilization, like a civilization that's been ticking on even though the whole world doesn't know it's there, run by a machine.
Yeah, true. That okay, I suppose that bit, voiced by Stephen Fry, no less.
Like someone, SM-33, a phenomenal droid edition, I have to say.
Yeah,
Nick Frost. Yeah,
what a man!
Absolutely love.
A pirate droid. I mean, just a perfect bit of characterization.
And I think the pirate stuff in Star Wars is so big. Like Clone Wars did it, Rebels, like the animated shows have done it.
They've really developed it in the last few years, haven't they?
And yeah, like the animated shows have done it. We've always had the pirate stuff, but it's always been like kind of mixed in with the bounty hunter stuff quite a lot. Like they always seem to cross over quite a lot. But it's quite nice to get an actual like separation of just like. Not like bounty hunters I mentioned, but to get just like full piracy in the galaxy, like also like Old Republic mentions, Fucking love
Great
it.
to see, yeah.
Fucking
it just
love
makes
it.
you wonder. Like, I don't know what the culture
Yeah.
of this planet is, but I find it really interesting. Like,
Old Republic lightsaber. Fucking love it.
oh yeah,
That's the vibe I got. That's the vibe I got from the lightsaber.
Yeah, sort of like
Like
old,
chromish, like the chromish
New
bronze
Republic.
gold kind of.
Yeah, like almost like New Republic kind of era in like a sort of
Yeah,
acolyte
like
era
High Republic
almost.
kind of stuff. Yeah,
Should be an acolyte lightsaber. That would have been a good little reference, wouldn't it?
Fuck, that'd be yeah.
But
yeah, that's the
I
kind of
really
vibe that I got
liked
from
it. I love, and I think as well, there's a lot to be said about the kids. I think a lot of shows like this, and I was really worried going into this. And one thing I will say is, like, Star Wars fandom, you did yourself proud with this one, because you did not resort to online bullying these children, which I honestly thought would happen.
Sure.
Like, I'm not going to be like, I do not
this,
condone that
true.
remotely. I was worried going into it that if one of the kids or all of the kids were a bit shit, because they're kids, they might be, like, that the internet would like fucking rail them for it. And it's exactly what happened with Jake Lloyd in The Phantom Menace, and he's now only just recovering from the mental health side effects that kind of online bullying and even real life bullying has led him down. Like, he was a very promising child actor whose career and life was completely derailed by Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad we didn't repeat history there and had a little bit of fucking decorum when watching this show. It was nice to see, because and also the kids were great, and I'm so happy they were great.
Really good.
All of them were so
really
well
written,
cast,
really well written, really well cast. Great concepts for the kids. Like, I know the concepts, like KB being this like android style, like
yeah. But no,
like,
what great with KB, like what great like disability representation.
100%.
The episode with the giant trash crab thing, like the one where Wim has to like reboot her like system or whatever,
when he has to
and she's talking about how how she doesn't want to be treated differently, but like Fern doesn't like expects her to be able to do all the same stuff that she was able to do before an accident or something. And it's like what great like representation in like a really important big show to do such like a really great nuanced bit of writing and storytelling, character development. I was so impressed with it. I really was, and I was really impressed that not only was it that well written, but the kids were able to perform that so delicately and so honestly. Yeah, I thought it was great. I was really impressed with that element of it. I thought all the characters got great times to shine. I thought Neil was sweet. Wim and Fern are clearly like the main kids in a way.
Yeah.
But I like that they all had a sort of different, a different like
they all had
vibe
a different,
to them. Yeah,
like they were all. That's what I mean. It's like they were just all different. Like, it wasn't just like Wim and Fern weren't just like the big egotistical, like big-headed wannabe captain leaders. Like, everyone had their own.
Wim didn't want to be a leader though. He wanted he wanted to be on an adventure. He didn't want to go home. He was along for the
they
ride.
They were all unique. Like, and again, like, it gives like Stand By Me, like Goonies kind of vibes. Especially with SM33, it really gives Goonie vibes with SM33.
100%. But I think that's what they're going for. And you know what? I think they've achieved it. I love that you're able to tell what it feels like a sort of 80s and 90s coming of age story in 2025 with like a Star Wars backdrop. Something I was worried about when it started, the first episode, admittedly, I was worried about, and this is sounding very like Star Wars theory, so I'll go on record and say I have no problem with nuts and bolts being in the Star Wars universe at all. That whole argument, Fandor, was fucking stupid. I felt that the world in Skeleton Crew is the closest to real life that Star Wars has ever
100%.
got to. And I think
100%.
at first I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
I thought it was, yeah.
But then I was actually like, almost like straight away into the first episode, I was like, actually, this works. The hover bikes, the sort of the woman walking the little gremlin dog thing.
Little dog,
yeah, like the buses which are driven by
playing with like the action figures and having like the, I know it's been in Star Wars before, but like
that's
even
the thing
with the
about
action figures, like all those little things, like
that's the great thing about it is it puts you in that world. And I think the best thing about that being a separate world where that is no communication outside of At Attin, and you got these characters who have heard the tall tales of Jedi and all that sort of thing and have their action figures. It's the first time I think a Star Wars project has ever managed to make the viewer feel like they could be in the Star Wars universe, where it's like they could, you know, what if Earth is a planet that has no communication to the outside world, and you know, it's like it's a wholesome thing for kids. And I think if I was a kid, I would love to feel like it's sort of like in the way that the Goonies and Stand By Me they sort of like make you want to go on an adventure and have that coming of age story yourself. I feel like this is the same. I feel like the idea of going hunting for like a spaceship or something in the woods is like it appeals to such an innocent sort of childish mindset, which is like really nostalgic, and I love that.
Yeah, and I think even like when they go on the ship for the first time and they're all getting like really giddy and excited.
Yeah, it's natural, isn't it? Yeah.
And even like when Wim gets the lightsaber like that in the last episode, like that kind of not excitedness, but like the eagerness that he gets when he holds the lightsaber at the finale of the episode.
Yeah.
Like that's the eagerness and the giddiness that I get when I hold a lightsaber that I bought for X amount of money online. Like, it's those kind of little things that I think is why it reflects it, because they feel like Star Wars fans, if that makes sense. The kids feel like Star Wars fans.
They feel the most like relatable characters.
That's why I think that's why it reflects so well.
That's why I think no one can really hate it, and I think that's the best thing about it. Is like, you might think it's you might not think it's the best show that Star Wars has done, but I think there's such a layer of complexity and nuance into the characters, into the storytelling, also into the visuals. I thought it looked very impressive, and I think Star Wars just naturally is getting better and better and better.
Beautiful, but I think the stop motion as well with the
they use like stop motion with like the trash crab and stuff. Really great. Amazing. Like ILM just treating us as always. I think it's up there with Andor in terms of what Star Wars has done like for TV. The Mandalorian has its ups and downs, and that's like the main universe thing at the minute. You know, if you've heard my opinions on this podcast before, you'll know I'm not a massive fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think that like the same goes for like Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett. I think Andor, I've always said, stands out as the best Star Wars show, and I still think it is, because that's designed for my demographic. Like, but that's where I think they're going right with this. The Mandalorian and Ahsoka and that connected universe, and eventually more of the films, are for everyone, for adults, for kids, etc. But whereas Skeleton Crew is more lenient towards kids, but still able to be watched as an adult as well, and then vice versa, Andor is more for adults, but has a sort of, you can still watch it as a kid. It's not like inappropriate, but like Andor definitely is more of like an adult show, and I think it's great that they're stretching into different demographics here that you can kind of bounce between. I love that. I really, really love that, and I think that's such an important thing, I think, as a viewer, to have that variety, especially on a brand as big as Star Wars. You don't want every show to feel the same, and I think they've finally managed to achieve that, because I think Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, they all felt very similar molds, whereas Andor felt so different, and Skeleton Crew feels so different again, and I love that we've got that with the modern stuff, and it gives me hope for the next step in Star Wars, because prior to this I was worried.
I agree. I think it sets a really good precedent, because you have a show that is so different to nothing, and there's nothing in the Star Wars universe being done like this before. We've never had a childish kind of, this kind of like adventure kind of story properly before. You obviously have like Clone Wars stories, stuff like that, but
you have like the
and even like Andor. They are different. Like you have this entire universe, one of the most like extensive and most established universes, I think, in storytelling, cinema, TV history, whatever you want to say, right?
Yeah.
You have so many opportunities to give people the potential of doing different styles of stories. Like, don't get me wrong, I love seeing the Jedi. I love having the one continuous thread and having this established story. But I do like having these different styles. Like, it makes me wonder what it would be like to do other maybe nuanced or like cliche story types in this kind of universe.
I'd like to see like a horror film as well.
I'd
like to see different genres explored within Star Wars, and I think this is the first step into that. I do wonder how far they'll go, but I love that this is set in the same era, so it's like, well, if we want to bring in like one or two of these characters, we can.
Yeah,
there's no reason why, like, there's no real reason why, let's say, in the Rey New Jedi Order film, one of these kids could not be in it, because they'd be the right age. Like, they'd be a bit older, right? But, like, let's say they could be in that universe. They could be pottering around. I'm not saying they're going to be a Jedi, but, like, I'm saying they could be knocking around somewhere, right? Because that's only
Is this the first piece of content we've had post Rise of Skywalker?
No, it's not. It's not even post Rise of Skywalker, you knob.
Oh, it's in between. Yeah, Yeah.
No, I was meaning more like these kids wouldn't be 100% dead by the time Skywalker comes around. Because if anything, they're just a couple years older than like Rey.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you know what, do you know what would be even nicer? Just like At Attin. Just have someone mention something about At Attin.
Well, it was
like
interesting. They've got that interconnectivity, like the robot SM-33, in one of the episodes when they're talking about different planets and stuff. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Andani, which is was a planet that was in like a 3-episode arc in Andor. And they talk, and he says that's just like a swamp sort of bog now, whereas in Andor it was a beautiful like highlands, but it was used as an Imperial base, which goes to show it's like there's a little bit of continuity and storytelling there, where it's like now it's a swamp because the Empire have clearly blown it up and destroyed it.
It seems like it's just so interesting. A little bit like the little things that still tie you into it, like at the end where he's like, "Oh, I'm a Jedi, but also an emissary." And he's like, "Well, last time I heard from the Republic, the Jedi were like that were traitors and stuff." So which one are you actually? That and also
that was great, actually. Yeah.
Earlier on, they mentioned Coruscant and one of the there's another planet that they mentioned as well, and SM-33 goes when was that? How long have you been out of touch? Like one of them doesn't exist anymore, or something like that. It's like those it's those little things that they're not like having a character blaring in your face. They're little things that if for a second you start like you drop like it brings you back, if that makes sense. Like it obviously feels like
I think it's such a shame.
It reestablishes being like, oh my god, like this is a Star Wars show. This is still happening while all these other things are happening.
One thing I'm kind of like, and I'm torn about this. So I don't know if you've seen the thing that this actress has posted. It's probably not, right? Because you've only just watched it now.
I'm literally like
an actress posted something on Instagram. Basically, she was like, one of the shortest like shoots I've ever done in my life, and she's in like a Jedi outfit. And I think she would have been the first like Arab, like Palestinian like Jedi, and it was like quite a big thing. They cut her out of the episode. Basically, I believe it was going to be a throwback, like a flashback to. She would have been Jod's.
She's supposed to be Jod's master,
right?
Yeah.
And you would have seen her die. So we got that. So I don't think they should have included the scene in the episode, because actually the episode pacing would have been completely killed by that, I think. And I think you got enough from him just saying it. But I'd love to see them do that if they do a season 2, or if we get to see Jod as a character again. I would love to see a bit more of that backstory. I'd love to see this Jedi or sort of a little bit of that. Just goes to show, though, the kind of attention and to detail they were thinking about when making this show, that they actually were thinking about, even filmed a flashback scene where you've got this Jedi being killed. But I guess, you know, what I kind of like about not seeing that is that we're not just met with another Order 66 flashback. I'm a bit sick of them now.
It's so fucked because, like, my brain of Star Wars, like, it shows how much they've done, like, new, like stupid, like, nostalgic references, because anytime anyone mentions a name, right, and I've got no idea who it is, I'm like, it's going to be someone I know. It's like the fucking pirate guy that they were going to search after. I was like, this is going to be a fucking bounty hunter or something we've met in Clone Wars.
I am
like
so baffled.
When he mentioned about the Jedi, I was like, we're going to fucking know who it is, or it's going to be a fucking callback. And that just shows how fucked Star Wars has made my brain.
Honestly,
like
it has,
how nostalgia coded my brain. Fucking, we should not be saying this with our whole brand.
No, but like, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Like, nostalgia bait, right, is not necessarily a good thing. The podcast is great, but the concept of it is something that is sometimes leaves a lot to be desired, and that's just the truth of it. Like, you get a lot of it in the industry at the minute, and I like to think that we're learning from that, where we stop it. I mean, I don't think Marvel are, but
Marvel aren't.
That's a story for another time. But at the minute, I think
what were you going to say about the?
I was surprised. Like, if they were going to do a cameo of a character who hasn't been seen in live action who would fit this theme entirely, it would have been Hondo. And I can't believe that was never really thought about. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's who if anyone was going to be in it, that's who I expected it to be. I expected it to be Hondo, because Hondo makes the most. Hondo's the only him, maybe like Mon Mothma,
he's a pirate,
at the end of the show.
Yeah, Mon Mothma's the one that I kind of like seeing the most, because that makes a lot of like interconnectivity. It tickles my brain in the right way that that actress who's been in Andor, in Rogue One, and Ahsoka in this sort of universe. It's great. Every time she pops up, I'm like, here we go, this is the best. And it all started from a Revenge of the Sith deleted scene, and I love that.
But then I understand, like, would Mon Mothma go to a random planet that's never been seen in
Yeah.
A lot of years.
The big question
I guess
is...
Old Republic credits, yeah.
The big question is...
What do you
think...
it's one of the fucking richest planets.
Yeah.
If we ever see that planet again, it's going to be fucking like... It's going to be one of the richest planets
No, but that's
in the galaxy.
That's what I'm saying,
100%.
Though. But will it? Because that's what I'm saying. What happens now? What happens now? The planet's opened up to the rest of the universe. That's kind of where we end it. We see the New Republic kind of landing. What happens next?
Yeah,
I guess we have the implication of that ship. I mean... You know, we didn't even think about this. Is the implication when we see that ship at the end, is that supposed to be Leia?
Oh, maybe the Hammerhead. Actually, well,
I didn't even
think
think.
That's not a bad shout, you know.
I didn't even think. It's not Hammerhead, is it? It looks like the Tantive. Is it Tantive?
Maybe.
Tantive 4. Is it?
Possibly.
I don't know if it actually is, you know. But it's the same type of ship. Right?
Yeah.
Which I'm not really sure if it was intended to be that, but you saw that ship, you know that's New Republic. My sort of thing, it's a Corvette. Oh yeah, you're right, it was a Hammerhead, sorry.
Fucking questioning me, how fucking
well, it doesn't say Hammerhead, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
I would look at this fucking front of it.
Yeah, it's sort of like famous for being the ship that started Star Wars, yeah. So it's the same type of ship as the one in New Hope and the end of Rogue One. So
I have to say, I really
could very
like
easily be Leia. Could very easily be.
Yeah. I really like the Skeleton Crew ship mind. I really, really like the
Onyx
old
Cinder
style.
Yeah.
Yes, the Onyx Cinder. I really, really like it.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
It's a nice refresh.
So my question would be, like, what do you think is going to happen now after this? Because
Fuck all.
A lot.
I hope. Honestly, no, that's not me saying it in a bad way. Fucking leave it. I honestly don't. I don't want a sequel. I don't want anything like that.
I did think this. I did think this. Like, I did think this. Like, I think they'll probably make a second season. I don't want them to. I think it works as a story, and I don't think we need to see the kids on another adventure again. We could see these kids at some point. I'd love to see them in like whatever they do is the big fucking film with the culmination of all the stuff in this era. It'd be great to see Jod again. It'd be great to see somebody of the kids again. But
Neil.
Yeah, just like reference them. We don't need to like see them. I think that's the most interesting thing is like you don't need to make a second season unless there's something really creatively rich to do with that.
I'd be interested to see a second season,
and I saw
not with the same kids. I'd be interested to see a similar concept, but done somewhere else and something different.
I saw what the thing with the money and the Old Republic credits. I saw a theory which I kind of like and would make a lot of sense personally. That money somehow ends up funding the Empire First Order, right? Because because that's something I have to think of, like, how can a New Republic fall so easily? And if they had all that money, they wouldn't. Whereas if their competitors do, then the First Order taking over doesn't actually sound as batshit. And I think I kind of get that.
You're like, well, it's like two swords, isn't it? Like a double-edged sword. It's like, well, At Attin's probably one of, if not the richest planet in the galaxy, right? Yeah. Probably only like counted by stuff like Coruscant, like the big capitals. I do not see a world where the New Republic do not seize that money. Do not seize all.
Well, they're there. They're already there.
It also just completely destroys the entire market of Star Wars.
That's true.
The very little of like any marketing that I know. You add that much money into the economy.
That's fucked. Yeah, you're not.
But also, they're old. That's the thing though. They're called Old Republic credits. They're not even normal credits. They're like. They are antiques. Like, you would buy an Old Republic credit with new credits. It's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why they're all so baffled when he first uses them.
Yeah.
And I love that little thing of, like, you think he's been given credits. Like, you see them and you're like, oh my god, credits. But he goes, it's like, oh wait. Like, there's a different design. Like, the very minute different design. But
it gives them an excuse to lean into these sort of, like, pirate Goonies kind of like thing where it's these like little shiny gold coins as
like when he's in the mile and like it's all pouring into his hands, like it's so like
that's
it's proper
so,
like pirates. But
I love that though.
It is a hard like, and again I think it's a great theory that if it somehow funds the First Order, like it gets into the wrong
thing
hands.
is, I'd love that to be the thing that happens because I think it would be the perfect way to bring Skeleton Crew into the rest of the continuity at the minute, where we're leading towards Thrawn and some sort of thing with that, which also leads to the setup of the First Order. We're getting there. Step by step, we're getting there, because at the end of Mandalorian Season 3, you had that like panel of Imperial leftovers, and one of them was like Hux or something. So you can see the threads. You know,
was like his dad, like around his dad or something.
Yeah, like around this time, Ben Solo realistically is probably born now. So like we need to kind of like start leaning towards like whatever they do with the end of this era, it needs to end with the setup of the First Order and something to do with Snoke. I don't know, but I'm excited to see that develop further and get there. That's my one thing I've talked about for years. It's like, I'll shit on The Mandalorian Season 3, I'll shit on Ahsoka, I'll shit on whatever that I don't enjoy. From
Bro
like
will shit.
I will shit. If there's one thing you can say about me, I will shit. Just as my work colleagues. Which could mean anything. But I love the one bit of continuity. It's like everything they do to make like the sequels and more specifically the Rise of Skywalker make sense. The more I love it, because I just like, I don't know if did you ever end up finishing Bad Batch?
No, actually, I don't think I did.
You fucking should have done, man. Jesus.
I think I got close.
Bad Batch was great.
Me stopping a show out of nowhere for no reason at all. That's not me, bro.
Unheard of. This is a common thread with a lot of these things. You also haven't seen Andor yet. You motherfucker. Like, you need to watch it. It's literally the best Star Wars show.
Watching 3 episodes of Andor and not continuing it for
Do you actually started it? And then stopped?
I started ages ago. I started watching when it first came out and watched 3 episodes. I watched the 3 episodes that way out and then never continued it. It was like, this is great. Anyway.
You fucker. I can't believe it.
Westworld Season 4 did the exact
That's
same
different.
thing.
I understand that one. I get it, right? Andor, like, you're going to have to watch it.
We've had this conversation. We've had... Yeah, 100%.
You're gonna have to
100% watch it.
I feel like by the time Season 2's coming out, we need to do an Andor Season 1 episode and then an Andor Season 2 one.
Gotta milk that shit, man. Come on.
Don't admit that on camera. I think the future of Star Wars, I think, is bright. Yeah, no, I'm not denying it. There's so much to talk about with Andor, especially. I think. But I think with Skeleton Crew, like, I was so impressed
Skeleton
with
Crew's
it.
one of the things where it's like,
it's not something I'm gonna. It's not something I'm gonna be thinking about. Like, it's like the best of Star Wars, but it's like wholesome and fun and just a happy fucking adventure, and I love that element.
It's like, it's weird. It's one of those things where if Old Republic credits come up at some point, I'll be like, amazing, love the tie-in, but I enjoyed Skeleton Crew so much of it being on its own that I'm if it doesn't,
I'm happy for it being on its own. I think the one thing I can say is I don't want a season 2 of it, and that's not because I didn't enjoy it. It's because I feel like that's a natural mini series, a bit like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, I don't think that needs.
It becomes political if you do a second season. It becomes a politics show because you can't do another season where the kids stumble across something. And that's what I'm saying, like, doing something similar but with a different group, like have them stumble across something else, like,
or it's years later, like, it's like, or it's like set, I don't know,
introducing the Skeleton Crew when they're a lot older.
I don't know, I could kind of imagine them in the future when they're older being like, you know, like
the same shit
on a crew, Onyx Cinder.
It's a good with this Onyx Cinder with SM-33, they're all a little bit older. That's quite a good idea.
That could be fun in the sequels era, maybe between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker could be a good time to do that. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting. I think there's something to be said in it, but that's just a brain rot like idea, as opposed to anything concrete. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see a second season of it in its current format because I think it works as a short series.
Yeah, I agree.
So well. I don't think we need any more of that. But I think it's I had so much fun with it though. It's that whole thing that just makes you feel really nostalgic and it makes you feel like a kid again watching Star Wars, and I think that's how I felt. Didn't need to feel massively over the top and bring in loads of cameos and stuff. Like, I really want to go back and watch like some of the shows again. Now I'm getting them all on fucking Steelbook when they come out. Like, I'm like, I actually really want to rewatch them at some point and just kind of check out like what is happening like with that. Like, what's Mandalorian doing? What's Ahsoka doing? Maybe I'll appreciate all of them more when I rewatch them back to back, right?
I'm hoping that once this kind of like arc finished, and I'm not saying this is not me saying I don't enjoy them.
No.
I think it'll be nice to have the payoff. Like, I enjoy watching stuff when it's I think it's why I like watching 1 through 9 is so satisfying because it's like it is a one continuous like
story.
It's a sealed.
I would argue 1 through 8 is satisfying.
Yeah,
but
that's true,
9 is okay. 9 is getting better with time.
I've not seen 9 in years.
I think time heals.
Like, years.
I think time heals.
But doesn't forget.
But doesn't forget. So true. Time heals. I think I feel better about it. I still don't love it, but I'm still like, you know, getting something. So it's like, I think by the time we get to a point where a lot of that stuff makes more sense, like about Palpatine being there the whole time, that's not just randomly thrown in, but actually has years worth of development. Like Bad Batch does do stuff with that. You've had the chance to fucking watch it, so you know, fuck you. But like a lot of the season 3 like plot line is about the what their experimentation into cloning people with midichlorian counts, and I think that's such a fascinating way that they're doing things. They're setting the seed there. They're setting the seed in the Mandalorian era. They're putting a lot of these things in place to clone.
And I love
Palpatine.
that. I love it so much. That they're taking this one throwaway line.
Operation something. I can't remember what it was, but it has a great name. And oh my god.
Oh, what's it called? I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. Oh my god.
Operation Necromancer.
That's it.
How fucking cool of a name is that?
So good, yeah.
And
but yeah, it's like that. I
like,
love that kind of stuff. I have to say, I think the next time we're together for like a period of time and we're going to sit and watch a movie, I think we should watch Rise of Skywalker together.
One of the what, sorry?
We definitely should. We should watch Rise of Skywalker together next time we're together. And we have the chance. We're going to sit down and watch something.
I think the thing is, I don't know if we've exhausted our opinions on Rise of Skywalker already.
Not to do an episode.
Oh, you just think for fun? Wait, we can do things that aren't on the show.
For fun, he says. For fun, he says.
If it's not for content, Cooper, what could it possibly be for? I don't have a life outside of content.
We'll put a camera up just in case.
Yeah,
that sounds mad. That sounds mad.
Just in case. Sheesh. God damn. That's great.
But yeah, I think we should.
What was I saying though? I
actually would like to put this out there. Deadass. I don't think I've seen Rise of Skywalker since it came out. I can't think of a time I've watched that movie. I think I've seen. No, actually, that's a lie. I saw it twice when it came out. I've seen it 3 times. I saw it twice when it came out, and then I think I saw it probably about 6 months afterwards.
Yeah,
and that's it. And I've not seen it since then.
I saw it last when I rewatched all of the Star Wars projects in order. I did it in COVID. Yeah. So I watched episode 1, 2, all of Clone Wars for the very first time, 3, etc., etc., etc. Rise of Skywalker, I think that was the last time I watched it. Maybe. Do
you know one of the reasons I'm nervous to watch it? Because I'm so high on my fucking high horse about hating this movie that what if I watch it and I go, it's not that bad.
I think you might a little bit.
And then I have to resent and play damage control.
No,
everything
but
I've said.
The bits you probably don't like about it are very minor. They're just the whole problem is if it was just another Star Wars film, it would be a lot of fun. But the problem is it's the final one in the saga.
Yeah.
I think by the time the New Jedi Order film comes out, if that feels more like a conclusion, great, because that'll fix the Rise of Skywalker for me. I think like. It just feels like it's designed to be a finale, but it's not a very good one. I think that's my problem with it. It's like, I love what they're trying to do. The thing is, I remember, like, even though when I remember from the fucking get-go when I saw it in cinema, I was like, oh.
We were the complete opposite. I was like,
I know, you were gassed up. Thing is, but that's the thing, I'm not going to ruin your excitement. There was just a part of me, I think you know what it was? It was the first 5-10 minutes, right? Because 5 minutes in, and Kylo Ren is already at the Palpatine Exegol lair thing, right? And it's like we skipped past him on Mustafar, him finding the thing, him navigating the storm, him arriving, him then meeting Palpatine. By the time he meets Palpatine, we're 6 minutes into the film. That includes the opening crawl, I think.
It's
mental, and that's crazy to me. I also hate that, like, the opening crawl describes that the Emperor sent out like a message throughout the galaxy that shook fear in everyone, and the message is not in the film. There is only one place that, if at the time of Rise of Skywalker and now, the only place you could have heard that. Oh, sorry?
Is it in the book and the adaptation thing?
Do you not know this?
No.
Oh, I'm hamming this up even more then. So they put a thing on the opening crawl. It's like the dead speaks. and like, Emperor Palpatine's message echoes throughout the galaxy, setting fear into everyone. That's how the opening crawl starts. You don't see this on screen, right? However, that speech is out there. Shall I tell you why? Because they put it in the exclusive Star Wars Rise of Skywalker Fortnite event.
What? I thought you were going to say, like, exclusive behind the scenes.
Nope.
What?
They did a Rise of Skywalker Fortnite event, and on the end of the countdown in the Fortnite event, Palpatine's voice did a speech about, like, the rise of the Final Order and all that sort of thing, which is new dialogue, which is presumably the message that they speak of in the film. We must have talked about this. We've talked about Rise of Skywalker on many recordings.
We've never ever spoken about that. This is not something I would forget. I will promise you that.
That's why the funniest thing about it, it's like the fact that like parts of the film, the context of the whole story rides on like a secret message that can only be heard in an exclusive online Fortnite event. He's going through it.
I hate this fucking. I fucking hate this movie.
Attention, all Fortnite gamers.
Does that mean Fortnite's canon in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah,
somewhere?
it does. Yeah, Tilted Towers is actually.
Fuck's I love the idea that Kylo Ren took a detour from The Last Jedi. Stopped off at Tilted Towers.
We had to find the holocron somehow, didn't we?
Cracked some 90s and then went off to Mustafar. Oh my god.
Attention all Fortnite gamers. This is Emperor Palpatine. I need the 3 magic digits on the back of your parents' credit card.
I need to restore my empire. I need your help to restore my empire.
Send me the 3 magic digits on the back of your parents' Old Republic credit card.
Oh my god! Maybe that's where At Attin is. Maybe one of the other planets at At Attin, like At Atkin, is the fucking Fortnite.
At Attin is Fortnite.
At Attin is confirmed canon.
Fortnite.
Signed.
Yeah. It's actually one of the
sign the dotted line here, please. That I did not I did not know that at all. I cannot believe I didn't know that.
That'll be a fun TikTok clip to edit. Fuck it out.
Oh my god! Attention all Fortnite. Oh my god! That's a bit. I hate Elsie.
That's so funny. Oh
but
man.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah.
I do need to. It is time. It's time to watch another Star Wars film that isn't Revenge of the Sith. Because every time I go to watch a Star Wars movie, I'll just instantly go Revenge of the Sith.
We watched the extended one, didn't we? When you were last in London.
I've always said that. Like, I love Revenge of the Sith. I've never once been emotional at Revenge of the Sith until we watched that. I genuinely thought
it was good,
like,
isn't it? For context, it's a 4-hour fan edit combining Clone Wars and the finale of Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. Excellent piece of TV.
Yeah, I genuinely felt emotional when we were watching that.
Brings it all together. It makes it feel everything in real time.
But then again, that kind of thing makes you go, well, this is like that. Something like that fan edit that can pull new emotions out of you makes you go, well, it's like it gives worth to them doing, like, building up all this stuff with the Rise of Skywalker, because maybe there will be a day where someone does a fan edit of the Rise of Skywalker and I will get emotional. Like, maybe that's the kind of thing. It's
maybe
like,
eventually, that's it.
Why the world building is so good and why it's worth like I love this stuff. Like, and I know people say like, oh, but it's why it's worth doing it, because if you can just add something so small, like the Clone Wars stuff, like it's not loads, like it's only a tiny little thing that's surrounding it, like that, but it's so worth it.
And it's not all of Clone Wars either. You didn't need to watch all of Clone Wars to understand what's going on in that finale. You can just understand Ahsoka and Rex, and then you can enjoy the last 4 episodes with so good. It's great. It's really, really good. Yeah. Should we crack on?
Should we move on to Just News?
Just News? I think we should. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very excited about this.
It is my Just News this week. This is a fucking bizarre news. I found this weeks ago, and it's fucking.
I'm worried because the last time we did one of your stories, you sort of said that the 2 you'd found on that day were sort of.
Oh, yeah, it is
weird.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
anyway, it's funny.
Good. Well, that's a good start.
From what I remember, from the Telegraph again. Damn, 2 weeks in a row, crazy. former Barney the dinosaur actor, Barney the dinosaur, big dinosaur.
Big
Former
purple guy.
Barney the dinosaur actor now works as a controversial tantric sex guru. You got verbal whiplash from that there.
That took me really off guard. I didn't know it was going to be
physical whiplash.
I didn't think it was going to be sexual. I was like, oh, that is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
A sex
Former Barney the dinosaur
guru.
actor now works as a controversial tantric sex guru.
Tantric sex guru. You know what I'm excited to find out is what that means.
The actor who starred as the cuddly T-Rex host of 90s children's TV show. I can't fucking read today. Children's TV show Barney and Friends is now working as a Los Angeles tantric therapist. It has been revealed. American actor David Joyner, 52, told Vice that his decade-long stint playing a dancing purple dinosaur was helpful for his current career.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, hang on. What the fuck? What do you mean by that?
The energy I brought up while in costume is based on the foundation of Tantra, which is love. Joyner said,
You were with kids, my guy.
Everything stems, grows, and evolves from love.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going. I can't lie.
Joyner only accepts female clients for his services and charges...
Hey, fair play, mate. What a great business model. Well done. Well done.
And
Absolute knob. What the fuck is he playing
charges $350 for a 4-hour session. On his website, Joyner, a former software analyst, offers clients the chance to reach a higher and more blissful state of awareness of their sexuality. According to Vice, Joyner believes this blissful state is best achieved through unprotected penetrative sex and claims that condoms block the energy. You've got actual whiplash from this story.
Sorry, and this was Barney the dinosaur.
This was Barney the dinosaur.
I think my childhood might be ruined. I can't lie to you. I think it's getting there a little bit.
It's only an extra $100 for him to wear the costume as well.
That's a joke.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Because my version of the article's not loading, so I genuinely, I'm completely blind.
This is what it was like for me last week when you were doing yours.
I can't get behind this, him being in like a thing, like on a show with kids, and then going, that was very educational in my current career as a sex guru. Sorry, and his clients are only allowed to be women, and it includes full
$350
sex
for 4
Can we just before
session.
we go any further? Obviously, age warning, I guess.
I guess probably when age warning. I'll start this.
Just the descriptions of what I believe I'm about to hear is going to be explicit, and I would.
If it gets too explicit, I will just completely. I'll skip past it.
If you wish you were hard of hearing, me too.
Yeah. It says the foundation of all of that. He reportedly asks clients to declare whether they have any STDs and sign a consent form before their session.
Yeah, good call.
Lisa, an anonymous source contacted by Vice.
That's ruined The Simpsons for me as well as Barney. That's all right.
Said she'd been one of his regular clients for 3 years.
What is he doing?
Regular clients.
Sorry, can I just ask, what is he actually doing?
What do you mean?
Is it because he's a guru, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean regular clients? Well, she's going just to have sex with him, so he's a prostitute.
Yeah, I guess it's that.
Yeah. He's an escort. He's not a guru.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
He might be very good at it, which is why they call him a guru. But I need to understand the difference between what he's doing and what an escort does.
One doesn't wear the costume.
Hey, kids! Oh, ruined.
After a regular client for 3 years, after first making contact with him through the dating app Tinder. He's on Tinder. He's advertising himself on Tinder.
Of course he is. Brilliant. Well done, mate.
She added that she had coitus with him, with Joyner during their third session.
Who's used the word coitus unironically since 1970?
With Joyner during their third session, and described the experience as a spiritual awakening. I forgot all of the stuff in this article from the last time I read it.
Fucking hell. Wait, okay, keep going.
Joyner's approach to tantric therapy has been criticised by other practitioners in the field. Professor Kimberly Resnick Anderson, a therapist and psychiatrist working at the University of California, Los Angeles, described Joyner's practice as outrageous and far outside the standard of care. She told Vice, "For him not to use protection is medically unethical and irresponsible."
Right, can I just say, hard agree on that one.
Hard agree, yeah.
Because I guess, okay, you're not doing... Like, I just can't believe we're talking about this. I just can't believe it's like... How has he managed that? How has he managed to set up a business? I'm a sex
It's such a career switch, isn't it?
I'm only allowing female clients. And it's completely unprotected.
That they have to sign to say they're okay with it.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's mad. Barney and Friends aired in the US network PBS.
Oh, don't go back to Barney.
And was syndicated to other countries around the world. Joyner performed inside the Barney costume until 2002, while US voice actor Bob West dubbed the dinosaurs' dialogue.
Oh, thank God for that. It's not the same as the voice actor. I think if it was the same voice, it would have put me off.
Yeah.
Not I'm signing up.
I can't say I'm rapidly approaching his website.
Although,
not that we can.
Describing it's spiritual. I mean, that's a crazy thing to say. I want to. What's he doing? He's actually a magician. He makes your virginity disappear. Sorry, carry on. Oh my God. Sorry.
That's the end of the. That's actually the end of the article. So you actually had the final word. That's so gonna get. I hope someone clips that. Talk about a digital footprint.
Fucking hell. I don't know what to say to that.
Oh my God.
Anyway, wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching and or listening to this episode of Nostalgia Vit. If you are listening on Spotify,
it's not Andor, mate. It's Skeleton Crew.
What?
Doesn't matter.
What? No. What?
Because he says thank you for watching and or listening. I was like,
oh, for God's sake.
It was a dumb joke, but I thought you'd at least get
it. It was a dumb fucking joke. Oh my God. If you're watching or listening on Spotify, please leave us a high 5-star review. It really, really, really does help. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment, letting us know what you thought of Skeleton Crew if you've seen it. Make sure you check out TikTok. We're recording this after the TikTok ban. I can't believe TikTok got banned in America for 3 hours. But yeah, you can now find us on TikTok in all countries. Most countries, thank God. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of the above. We love you lots. And we will see you next week for whatever we have planned. And hopefully less Barney the Dinosaur.
It's actually kind of worked as a story because it is kind of connected. 1, you've got kids, and 2, it's about bones.
We'll leave it on that.
Thank you and good night.